to the Ridhima Chopra and the Aakash show. And today we're going to talk about something which we learned on the job, mastered on the job, and completely nailed on the app and the Play Store. And it's called design principles and the psychology behind designs, why the way that they look, the way that they look, the colors and the patterns that all might seem random to a user, but actually has a lot of thought process behind it.
And how have we learned these? We have learned these in the course of building 22 products, amassing more than 2 million users, and we have some of our products have seen more than 500,000 users being using the app every month, and more than 50,000, 100,000 content pieces being created. And I think when you are operating at that scale, it kind of pushes you to understand and tap into the user psychology. And we have been using all these effects way before we actually knew the term. So these design principles were being used in our product, but then later on, when we got into reading and when we read, we understood that, oh, these are principles which also have a name.
Yeah.
So I think let's just deep dive right away, and let's just start with the first principle.
Which is called the Zeigarnik Effect. And basically, it's not just a design principle, but a principle which is used in, not just used, but it is something which irritates people in their everyday lives as well. It's a psychological phenomena which makes human beings remember their incompleted tasks or their to do the tasks which basically they have not completed more than the ones that they have already completed. So it's always that tingling feeling that I have not done it, I have not completed it, it's still there on the top of my to do.
Yeah.
Is a Zeigarnik effect. To understand it simply, that tickling feeling that pisses the living shit out of you, that this
Yeah.
needs to get
And one of the biggest examples where you can see Zeigarnik effect is in on any e-commerce website, where you see once you add a product to the cart and you go and continue, what happens is you will see that it's a three-step process. The first you have already done, and then there will be a progress bar leading towards the second one, which is like add your address, and the third one is the payment. So when you see the
sorry.
when you see the second and the third incomplete bit in that progress bar, it bugs you.
Yeah,
and
totally.
and it kind of plays with your psychology, and it pushes you to
Spending millions of dollars.
complete the whole transaction.
Yeah.
So that's one example of Zeigarnik effect, and progress bars in general in across a lot of apps.
Yeah,
that,
like LinkedIn was super famous back
Yeah.
then, and it still is. That LinkedIn probably will have like a bar, and of course they play with different designs everywhere. So I don't know which design are you currently seeing, but if you have not put in your birthday, or if you have not put in your current role or education or whatever, they will piss the living shit out of you by constantly reminding you that this thing you have not filled in on your LinkedIn profile.
Something similar you see on Instagram also. So once you create a new account, what they
Still
do
is.
is, yeah, it still is there. What you see is that they will have these massive rectangular bars telling you that add your username, add your name, date of birth. So that is Zeigarnik effect. Incomplete tasks create a knack in our head that we really need to complete it.
Yeah, whenever you're looking at this video, maybe after a year or 6 months, the interface can change of the Zeigarnik effect and the said apps that we have taken
Yeah.
examples of. But the point remains that this phenomena is used by an array of apps. Uh, that's our dog. Please excuse us. So this phenomena is used by an array of apps to help you and help them complete a task or complete anything that they want you to on their app or website.
And the second effect that we learned over the years is called Jakob effect, Jacob's law, Jacob effect. And what it states is that we all use multiple platforms, and you would have seen this one interesting thing that more or less all platforms follow the same design principles. They look exactly the same, just there's just a difference of color or like very minute UX differences. Why is that? Because Jacob effect states that once people have got accustomed to using a certain type of interface, you should not have or bring a new type of interface in your product, because that will create cognitive load. And what is cognitive load? It will create a tension where people would have a hard time figuring out
Yeah.
how to use the product.
But-
So all the e-commerce looks exactly the same, just the difference of color, or even a lot of these short video apps, even a TikTok or
But
Reels.
TikTok was probably like a game changer
Yeah.
in this. But before TikTok, there was Musically and Vines.
Yeah.
Somewhere on the same line, so TikTok
Yeah.
did not have to take that pressure of making the audiences or making the
Yeah.
users
But early
familiar
on,
with the design.
But early on, when designing the product, try to keep the interface as similar to the products that you are hooked to. So don't
Yeah.
try to reinvent the entire curve, because in reinventing, you would actually have to spend millions of dollars to kind of make the user understand and learn the way your new design works.
That's true.
So that is Jacob effect, and we have learned it by burning our hands. We have played a lot around UI and UX.
Yeah.
So some of our apps, we built an audio social network by the name of Charcha.
Charcha,
It had
yeah.
more than 100,000 users, and it was an short audio only app. And what we learned is that when you try to reinvent the way people speak, or create content, it creates a lot of problem and a lot of friction. So that was one app where we saw the usage getting down as soon as we brought about these new design changes, where creation
Yeah,
of
I
audio
mean,
was
one must
difficult.
be one must wonder why big apps like Instagram or YouTube, the amount of people
Yeah.
that they have on the design team or the development team. Why do we not wake up every second week and see a design
Yeah.
change? So what the hell are these people doing at the company, right? At YouTube or at Google or at Meta or ABC for that matter. Basically, for one small change that you see overnight that is brought to you by these companies has been in alpha and beta stages for years before the mass audience finally sees the
Absolutely.
day of light, right? So if you are a new builder, if you are trying to get your MVP out, trying to get your PMF, have an app, have a website, or have the product which looks similar to what people are already
Yeah, keep the core design
consuming.
philosophy similar to what people are already hooked to.
Yeah. Or
So-
if not, then have millions of dollars to burn to make that awareness, to get people into the
Yeah.
hook.
So that was our second design psychology, and the third one is pretty simple. It's called people. And what that means is, whenever you're building an app, it's going to be consumed by people. And when you have, let's just say, 10 users on the app, the idea is to show their faces. Show their faces so that when the new user come, or when a new user joins the platform, they see that there are already 10 people on the app. So show their faces wherever it's possible. If you have a profile in your app, try to show it, even if it's not populated, or even if it doesn't have a lot of layers to it, still just show it out.
Even if it's a utility app
Yep.
used by just you as a user, let's just say it's just a self-journaling app and only you are supposed to use an app, it's not a social app. Try to tell the user that you're not alone, you're not the
Absolutely.
only person using the app. You can do this by including n number of people's faces on the onboarding, during the onboarding, or maybe somewhere on the feed or whatever, if there is a feed. But in general, people feel safer when they see other people, and it's really difficult to resist the eyes of a human being.
And I think in a course of our evolution, there is a different and a sweet spot we have for people and their faces, because since we are a social animal, humans are social animal, and we have evolved in communities. So it creates an impact that is much more deeper, and it, like Ridhima said, that it comforts you while you are using the product. So always show people. If you have people on your app, just show their faces, because even if there are no users, show your face on the app. That's the very beginning.
Yeah, and I think as a builder, you should always let people know that this is my work.
Yeah.
And that's what make other people. This is just not a design principle, but like more like a comforting thing, that people always feel better if they know that the other side of the computer is a human being and not a machine.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That these are some top 3 design principles and psychology
If
we
you
have
guys
learned.
like this video, we might just make more more on design principles, because we are a company which depends not depends our basically whole development starts with design.
Yep.
It's not the other way around. We like Apple.
Bye bye.
Bye, thank you. Hope you like the video.